Hey everyone, welcome to BrickVault. My name's Jack, and today we are doing a very quick LEGO Star Wars minifigure collection. This is every single Republic Trooper minifigure ever made. Well, this collection not only covers just Republic Troopers, but also all of the Senate Commandos, because they kind of fall under the same umbrella, as in they still all work for the Galactic Republic. So this is going to be a pretty quick collection. Let's go through it chronologically. What sets did these guys come out in, and how much are they worth? Let's start off with the Republic Captain. He came out all the way back in 2007 from the Republic Cruiser set. The detailing on the body, by all respects, is very, very simple. He's just got that simple minifigure smiley face that we only really see now in city sets, and I think this is one of the first years they were using flesh tones for the minifigs. All the parts are still pretty common, and he goes for $5 right now on Bricklink. The same set produced the Republic Pilot. He's the exact same minifig as you can see, but instead of just the black comb-over hairpiece, he now has a blue cap instead, and his price is, well, the same. Now, 2 years later, we get our first look at the Senate Commando. His most distinctive feature is the mold for the helmet, and I particularly like that little sort of mohawk bit that is popping up in the center. The detailing on the body is pretty nice, but I will say it is supposed to match up with that from the Clone Wars show, and this is all the more apparent when you take off the helmet and you can see the printing for the face. He came out in the Venator class Republic Attack Cruiser. Pretty big set, really cool, and he sells for also $5. And one thing to point out is just about all the Republic and Senate troopers, they're all more heavily armed than your average trooper minifig. 2010, 1 year later, we got the same exact guy, just released in a magnet set. The only difference is that this guy doesn't have any print for the face. He's just a fleshy head. But that same year, we also did get a much cooler minifig. This is the Senate Commando Captain. Comparing him to the regular trooper released from the same year, the detailing is actually the same, just they added an extra layer of white printing on top of what was already there in black. So the helmet has extra printing as well as just the front of the chest piece. In fact, there's no white printing on the back. The face is still the same as what we would have gotten from any clone trooper, and he came out originally in the set Cad Bane's Speeder. He sells for $5, just like just about all of the rest of these guys, but now we're on to the Republic Troopers, and more specifically, this is Jace Malcolm. He came out back in 2012, and he's the most expensive fig from the collection. He comes in at a minimum of $13 if you're purchasing from the States, and he came out in the set Republic Striker Starfighter. Lots of things to appreciate about this minifig. He's got tons of great detailing that goes over his standard armor. You can see he's got a strap that goes around his chest with a vibro blade, I believe, attached to the center of the chest, and just lots of multicolored printing along the legs, making the armor kind of stand out a bit more. Jace Malcolm's got a pretty good expression on the face with the scar and the scruff, and he doesn't come with any old weapon. You can see he is holding a really, really big brick-built gun. The biggest I think you can get from any Star Wars set, at least for a minifig. Now, 1 year later, we get our sort of standard Republic Troopers. They're actually my favorite guys of the entire collection. They came out in the set Republic Troopers versus Sith Troopers, and I think my favorite part about these guys is the mold for their helmets. They're really, really cool. They are easily some of my favorite molds from the Star Wars helmets that you can get from any minifig here, and the orange highlight detailing that goes along the center of the chest and matches up on the legs and helmet, it all just looks very good. This feels like a very complete trooper fig, and what I like about these guys is they come with alternate expressions. That's technically the only difference between these two figs, except for, of course, one of the guys is also holding a gigantic brick-built weapon as well. The figs themselves are just $3 each, and we're jumping up to the year 2015 with our last Senate Troopers, the last guys that were produced directly for any forces for the Republic. They came out in a pretty simple Senate Commando Troopers battle pack, and because they're in a battle pack, they don't have anything to do with any of the animated TV series, so they go back to sort of standard Stormtrooper kind of faces. The Commander has a slightly more reserved expression, and the detailing for the bodies have changed ever so slightly to also sort of match that they're not at all part of the TV series. Here they are next to the original versions. The printing on the chest has actually totally changed in design, but I think the biggest differences you'll notice are the fact that these new guys have printing on the legs, which is much, much better. But what isn't much, much better, of course, this is still a battle pack, and all the contemporary ones that have been coming out in the last couple of years all come with stud guns. So these are stud gun figs, the Commander holding a slightly larger one, or he's just got a extra piece built onto the back, and each one of these guys sells for about $2. So there it is, all 10 figs for this little Star Wars minifigure collection video. In the future, I don't really know what kind of other Republic Troopers to add, but definitely getting a little bit more color variation with the armor would be pretty cool. All right, that is it for this episode, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching. Remember, if you enjoy our content, you can always like or subscribe. And if you have ideas about another collection video you want to see in the future, let us know in the comment section below. All right, that's it for this episode, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault.